toy spot, we are having a look at the Diamond Select Marvel Select Thor the Dark World Jane Foster. The collector edition action figure comes with a display base. In fact, it comes with the display base, the other half of the base that came with the Thor. She does also come with an alternate head, all of which we'll look at when we get the figure opened up. On the side of the package, some really nice artwork there of Thor and Jane. And on the back of the package, Avengers Initiative, once again featuring the figure up at the top and showing how you can take the two figures to make the one display base. The read-up, a talented astrophysicist, Jane Foster's understanding of the universe was turned upside down when she met Thor, who claimed to be Prince of Asgard, one of the 9 realms mentioned in the Norse mythology. Jane eventually learned that the stories he believed were true, and found herself at the center of one of these stories when a strange form of energy from another realm began to leak into our world. This figure of Jane Foster is based on her appearance in Thor the Dark World and includes a base that can be combined with Thor's base to form a scene from the film. If you are certainly interested in checking out more, you can head over to Diamond Select Toys at www.diamondselecttoys.com. Spot's going to take himself a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Jane Foster figure. We'll also do a comparison with the Thor figure, and we'll put those two bases together. There's definitely more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. As mentioned, Jane Foster does come with the other half of the display base that would have been featured with Thor. And you know what? As a display base goes, I think hers is a little more impressive than what we ended up getting with Thor. There's a little notch right on the ground area there. She does also come with this piece right here. You're just going to take it and pretty much just wedge it into that slot there, and you've got the display base. Once again, really this base could have easily held out on its own. Didn't really require the other half to Thor. However, we do have the other piece of the Thor, or the other display base that came with Thor, and there is a groove there, a little peg actually I should say, and there's a notch on the underside of Jane's base. So we just take the two and snap it together, and you've got a fully built display base. Looks nice. And I really, aside from this piece right here, this base could easily be used for any figure. So I do like it quite a bit. It doesn't seem to be having any pegs, any foot pegs on the display base, so it's just something that would accompany the figures and not so much something you would have the figures standing on. So we'll just put that to the side, and let's have a look at Jane. Now, unfortunately, Jane Foster's does have a bit of a problem standing. It's just really because of her high heels. That getting her to stand sometimes a bit of an issue. However, though, I gotta say, likeness-wise, the likeness on her is fantastic. It definitely, looking at it, you definitely can tell that it's Natalie Portman. The sculpt on the hair, and I like the choice of flesh color that they went with as well. It's a nice soft color. It's not too strong, and it looks like a real natural skin color as well. The hair is sculpted exceptionally well, and I also really like the robe that they put on her as well. It's not just a straight blue. In fact, hopefully the camera is picking up that it does have like a gray wash to it. It's giving it this almost speckled look to it. And also you can see that she has these little side extra pieces of her gown, her dress, that moving it out of the way, you can see some nice detailing on the undersuit there as well. That same color is carried over into her side gauntlets, which again carries that same detailing in the gauntlet area as well. By comparison, just so you guys can see the size difference, there is Jane Foster, there is Thor. I think on a scale level, that's about right. That's about right to the movie. Really, kudos to Diamond Select Toys for actually producing a non-superhero figure. Because I know it's usually when movie properties come along, we always will get our Thors, we'll always get our Iron Mans, you know, and Captain Americas, but we don't get a lot of side characters. And while perhaps Jane did not sell as well as Thor might have, you know, it's nice to get a companion piece to the main character. She does also have an alternate face, slightly different tool, slightly different sculpt to the hair. And you just take her head and just wiggle it off. It unpegs very easily. And you can take the alternate head and just peg it into place. Getting it around her hair. There we go. And you get a nice contrast. You also get the addition of the glowing blue eyes, something that was not predominant with the original Jane face. Love the inclusion of the face, although for me, again, I'm always one that goes with the more, you know, the regular face sculpt, especially when it comes to displaying figures. But I like the fact that they gave us the two faces. A nice touch. We'll just unpeg the head once again. Extremely easy to change out the head. I thought it was going to be an issue, but not at all. Articulation on Jane Foster. She does have a ball joint in the head, as we've already seen. Her shoulders are on a ball socket as well. Well, actually more of a hinge socket. So they rotate out. They rotate forward and back. She does have a bend at the elbow, a rotation in the hand, a rotation in the forearm. She has a rotation in the hand. She does have an upper torso crunch, upper torso ball joint. Now, the ball joint on the top of her, it does rotate left and right. Doesn't really rotate a lot, but it still rotates enough to kind of get her to turn left or to turn right. And despite the fact that she does have the cloak, this dress on, she still has full articulation in the knees and full pivot in the foot. The only thing is, it's a shame that she doesn't have a peg hole or really a peg point that you could have pegged her onto the display stand just to kind of help her to stand. But if you get her properly positioned, you could probably have her just, you know, leaning against the display base. But to peg her in would have certainly helped a bit, at least on this particular figure. I really think that the sculpt is phenomenal on the figure. And again, I'm very happy to see that they're including accompanying companion figures for the main characters. It's not to say that we will ever get ourselves perhaps a Pepper Potts or you know, any side character such as that, but I'm glad to see that they actually gave us a Jane Foster. She looks beautiful. Sculpt is really nice. The paint is really good, and it's nice to get a good looking display piece. So overall, I'm happy with the figure. Jane Foster, I am going to give her an 8.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Diamond Select Toys Thor: The Dark World, Jane Foster. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.